From Transformers device label, it is Broad Blast, an actual operating USB hub that transforms. Yes, they're calling him Broad Blast, but we all know him as Blaster. I don't know why they didn't just call him Blaster. This is, I believe, an official Transformers product, so they could have used that, or was his name Broadcast in Japan? I think that was it, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you know, let me know in the comments below. Now, I had gotten this at TFCon, and I did kind of give you a glance at it during my TFCon report, but now it's time to actually break it out. Now, the device label stuff, I mean, I do have a Soundwave that's a working MP3 player, which is very cool. And I got the blue one, which sometimes I regret just getting the blue one because the white one was shattered glass. But now we have an actual USB hub, which I will probably never use for that purpose. That changes into Blaster, so pretty cool. I don't have an iPod, so I don't have that Optimus with a dock. But I'm gonna break this out and go through them bit by bit. I believe he's been opened before, but I got a good deal on him. And I trust that he's complete, but we'll find out. And if you are new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle, welcome aboard. If you're a longtime viewer, that is totally awesome, thanks for coming back. And I hope you enjoy this little trip down memory lane, because this is from like, I think 2010? I'm not even sure. That's what Google's for, so you let me know. All right, ready to dive in? Well, be right back. All right, so it is in the box, which is a very nice box. Has a picture of Broad Blast, a.k.a. Blaster there. And when I take it out, we got a gun. Gun is important. We've got a Toshiba branded device in here. If I can see on the bottom, it's got some Autobot stuff and some connection cords. And the bot may be complete, but it's lacking instructions, so we'll just have to figure it out. I don't think these are too complex. Taking the plastic cover off, and there he is outside of the package. And then we have this USB to mini USB that plugs somewhere. That is where the mini USB plugs into, and the other part into your computer. And then you have 4 USB ports in the front. But wait, there's more. If I open up this screen, it actually looks like a computer. It has a nice screen with an Autobot symbol on it, keys. I don't know if this is supposed to be a trackpad or something, but there's no mouse. I mean, you can attach a mouse, obviously. But yeah, it looks like a computer. Maybe they could have called it mainframe, or I don't know, new bot called Hacker. Probably not, they didn't want to make people nervous, especially parents. But they decided to go with the whole Blaster thing because he's a pretty popular character. So it's not a huge device. It's about 4.5 inches wide. The other direction, it's just about 3 inches. And it's just shy of an inch tall, maybe 7/8. But it's cool. It comes with an accessory that makes it have a practical use. And a gun that's not the right color, but it looks kind of like Blasters. I wonder what size that is. Could that go with some other Transformers? Thanks, we'll have to look at that. Waspinator very interested. Don't ask me why I'm doing Waspinator when I'm dealing with a Blaster. But all right, so I am going to refer to the box and the picture of him on the box in order to transform him because I have no instructions. But he doesn't look, like I said, that difficult. So there he is in his robot mode. It wasn't, as I very much suspected, very difficult to figure out how to transform him. It is pretty interesting how it maintains the electronics. I'm guessing that there's wires going through, and I can kind of see wires that go through the back of his legs so that when you plug it into an actual computer, those USB ports are connected. I'm gonna give him his gun, which again, color for the gun, but it fits. It doesn't match his chest plate. It doesn't match anything. Kind of an ugly looking gun. I am curious. I have a G1 Blaster gun. Will that fit? If you have an extra G1 Blaster gun and you get this guy, it will fit. So he can electro-scramblify, if that's a word, your computer. One thing I found interesting about him in the comics is obviously he had sonic abilities in the cartoon, but his gun was just a gun. It didn't seem to really, I think they might have once used it as some kind of scrambler, but in the comics, everyone's weapon was as listed in the tech spec, and his was an actual electro scrambler gun. So it would like scramble whoever he shot with it. It wasn't meant for destruction, more of a pacifist weapon, though he wasn't that much of a pacifist. So I'm gonna take the gun out and let's go over some posability on this guy. I wouldn't expect too much. For example, I can already tell you there are no ankle swivels. but he can apparently do a full JCVD, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And if you use the keyboard flap in the back, put it out a little bit, he can stay quite happily in that position. So that is very nice. He can kick forward. Woohoo! Now he can, interesting. So for some reason, however this joint is constructed, it doesn't seem to like the back kick. They go forward, but they don't really go back. And it's nothing on the exterior that's blocking it. It's just, I don't know if they decided just to make it so that you wouldn't make a mistake. But yeah, there's something inside, I'm not going to force it, that does not allow it to go back. I mean, he can do a side kick, a really nice side kick, but interesting. He does have knees, and they can actually bend quite a bit. Swiveling, he swivels a little bit. He swivels from the front to the side, and that is it. I imagine that is also to keep wear and tear from occurring on the actual cables. Does he twist at the waist? That does not appear to be happening. His arms, which have an interesting flap in the back, do go around all the way. His fists also twist. He's got elbows, so you're supposed to elbow him like that. Okay, bend him at the elbow like that. And these are ball joints. He can kind of move his shoulders up, down. And I actually, when I was figuring out the transformation, pulled off one of the arms. That's not a part that is necessary for the USB hub, and it was really easy to pop back in. His head does turn all the way around. Now, a couple interesting features is he does have light piping. So he's got a translucent yellow background, so his eyes can glow yellow when you put a light through it. Also, on the package, it shows putting what appears to be a G1 steel jaw in his chest. I couldn't find my steel jaw quickly when I realized that, and I'd already begun taping, so I ran over and I grabbed a ram horn, and let's see if we can actually put ram horn in his chest. And he fits. Now, he only fits when he is in robot mode, because the head actually folds down into the chest, so that would not allow him to fit in that particular mode. But you can actually put G1 cassettes in there. It's a pretty spacious thing. You can also put your weed in there, but nowadays in most places you don't have to hide your weed, so you can offer the cop a hit. Yeah, he's not bad. These knees seem a little loose, but that could be because this is second hand. So he stands in robot mode, obviously, but he's about 6 1/4 inches tall. And just to show some scaling, here he is next to a G1 blaster. So the G1 has a bit of height on him. Standing next to the Studio Series is slightly taller. And standing next to Reaction Bumblebee, don't ask me why I'm throwing him. He just happened to be available, so just a little extra scaling. Enjoy, all right? Sheesh. Yeah, he's a little taller than Reaction Bumblebee. But he is a pretty cool toy, kind of fun. Again, I don't know. I mean, I suppose I might at some point use him as a USB hub with my laptop. I have a huge one that has like 12 ports with my desktop, so. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use him too much. A cool figure, a cool acquisition from TFCon, and if you get a chance, go to TFCon or BotCon or RetroCon or all three, because there's great shows. I am planning on going to BotCon next year in Chicago, so that will be a trip, literally. Yeah, not 100% happy with the weird looking gun, but that's what he came with, so you know, that's what I got. So if you want to get this guy, you're pretty much gonna have to go to eBay. They're not selling him brand new anymore, or you might find him at a toy show, or going to a local toy store that sells vintage toys, you know, or used toys. But yeah, I kind of like him. And the computer is kind of cool, not that it's functional. But yeah, he's kind of a fun version of Broad Blast. A little more updated than an actual boombox, because we don't see a lot of those anymore. And speaking of fun, I hope you're having fun watching these videos. If you like the content, feel free to subscribe. And while you're mulling over getting this, you can actually check out this video over here, which is actually the comparison of the Studio Series to, I think it was maybe the Kingdom one. They all blur in my head. But we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.